It is Tuesday the 9th of May and it's in the afternoon, and a warm welcome back to Boat Extras. I think this is episode 36 of this little trilogy of stuff that's going on. Anyway, first of all, thank you so much for all those that took the effort to give me their opinions on this unit having either the back on or not having the back on, and the consensus is that we do not put the back on, and I will go with the overall majority, which I think is that what you see there. Also, quite a few of you have said that it should be uplifted and up out of the way, and I would be inclined to agree with you. So I think the order of the day is to get that up there somehow, which will mean that this one will have to be lowered by a considerable amount, because I want to get it as high as possible in order to have it quite high up, so somewhere in the region of up there, obviously across that way as well, but of course that one hits the ceiling before that one does. So I would say that really it needs to be reduced in size by that much up there, so then it can be high, quite high up. I think it needs to be as high as possible. Also, I would like to decide on the switches going sort of around there. There was a discussion whether we have them going that way, like so, but in a box. But I don't know. I don't know whether I like that idea. I think I would prefer it flush, and because I know it's going to be a case of having to cut through the bulkhead, but I think on this instance I think it warrants it. I could always put a case over the top of it to keep the cabling side of things dry and damp free, so I could do that. It's either it goes there or it goes there, but I think I quite like the idea of having it there. There was also mention, of course, with the horn and various other things. I think the horn, I can have a separate switch up where the dashboard is. I think that would be absolutely fine. But the majority of things I think will be quite good behind that unit, and I've got a neat trick in order to have that over there with the goods in. I'm going to show you that once I've got it in place. But I think the first job is to reduce the size of that side, and then let's see how far it goes. So grab yourself a cup of tea or a coffee, sit back and enjoy Boat Extras. Bye for now. Okay, so in order to cut this down and make it look like it was meant to be identical to the top one here, what we're going to do, well, what I have done is got a piece of waste, and I basically mark that out so I've got roughly the right shape, and then shove that down to there, and I think that much off is going to work. So I am going to trace around that, and I'm going to cut that off. Now the only thing I'm thinking is whether I can get the router around here to make it obviously like the rest of it. I can do the outer side, which is this side, but this inner side I might end up with a problem there, so I might have to file it off manually. But you know what, it's got to be done, and I think if we trim that off to start with, and we'll take a little look and see how it looks. Do I need to take that off that far though? Or do I need to just take the top bit off? Might have just... Maybe I should do that first. Do you know what? I think I might have salvaged something there. Maybe I'll do that first. Although that won't, the definition won't be the same as that, that's the only thing. But there's nothing lost, because this technically is all waste anyway. So I think what I'll do is I'll cut that off, I'll offer it up, and let's aesthetically see what it looks like. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Cut a little bit off first, have a look, and then make a decision after that. I'm learning. Right, I'll do that, and I'll have a quick look, establish whether it looks right, and then, well, I'll be back. Bye for now. Okay, welcome back. So as you can see, it is considerably less than that now. I've tried it up top and it looks brilliant, and I'm very pleased I didn't cut down to there with that mark. So I'm going to get rid of that mark. That looks perfect. Aesthetically, when you put it on the boat, it looks, well, you can't really tell because of the way that the actual boat ceiling curves down. So it just works really well. So I think now that needs to get stained, but first, now that we are raising it considerably, we need to put a bottom on there for the drawer to fit, because I think I'm going to keep the drawer. I quite like the drawer. So I'm going to put a base on there, and then they can all get stained up at the same time. So that's the next job, putting that on. Stay tuned. Righty then, so that's chopped down, that is now sanded, so that's good. That's sanded around here, obviously dusting that off a bit. There's a base on there now, as you can see, so all we need to do now is give that a stain, and we'll leave that overnight, and we'll continue in the morning. I need to find a handle for that, and I know I've got plenty of them, but where in this place I don't know, because it's a few years since I knew, well, since I've had them in my possession, so I'm going to have to come up with something. Let me just figure out what I'm going to do with this. I might cut that sponge in half, because it's getting a bit crusty. That's better. So all I'm going to do is give this a you know, stain. I might give the whole thing a coat actually, because I have sanded down the pencil mark which was there, and also I've sanded some marks out of there as well. So I'll give it a good dousing, keep the colours all the same. So with that said, I will see you on the flip of the page. Bye for now. And a warm welcome back. It is the 10th of June, not May. I said May yesterday as the opener. Do apologise for that. It isn't. It's I nearly said it again. It's June. Right. So how are we going to fix this up? So as you can see, everything is now coloured. Everything's looking good. got the bottom in there as well. I've shaped it round there because I didn't want to have that flush at the bottom. So how are we going to hang it on? Well, I've come up with an invention, and it's consisting of 2 struts that are going to be on the bulkhead like so, and you literally lift this into place, and then to stop it from coming away you do that, and that stops it from coming away, and they fit snugly at the back. And as you can see there, you can see when I shoot that bolt through, you can see it's there, because you won't see this because it's going to be high up. So that is the reason for the holes going through, because I couldn't drill it from that way because my drill wouldn't fit between that gap, so I've had to do it that way. But no matter, it is what it is. So that can now be, these can be now stained up. I'll probably offer it up first, dry fit it, get some screws in there, and then I can then put some grommets in there at a later date, because we've still got to figure out what we're going to do with the switch. I think the switch, I've decided, will fit in there somewhere, but we'll have a look at that very soon. So I'm going to take that up. I'm going to take these 2 pieces up as well, and we'll get it fitted for now. So I'll see you aboard. Right, there we go. So as you can see, not very well by the look of it. Put a bit of light on the job. Let there be light. There we are. So as you can see, we've got those now fitted there. These, believe it or not, are the old rubbing straights that I've managed to resurrect. The hardwood, and they blend in really nicely with this colour here. So I just thought that that would look nice, and this looks a bit nautical. That's what I think anyway. So that's the idea. That goes on there. This is all dry fitted, by the way, because we've still got to get this this side of the window done. So the idea is that if we have to take this off for whatever reason, then that can just slot into there like so. And then they can click in there. That might just need a bit of an adjustment, that hole. No, maybe not. That's it. So there you have it. I think that looks all right. Now, going from here, it's off the deck, of course. I don't think for 1 minute that this is going to look right under there, to be honest. I mean, it could go there, but I don't know. My thoughts are to put this there, like so, because really there's nothing much in the way of little spices and things like that that really are going to interfere with this, because they are low lying, and I think that there would be, you know, out of the way, I think, and we can gain access to those cables on the other side. That's my thought. If it was up there, it would be, I mean, ideally it would be nice to have it up there, but then it's going to interfere with the dashboard at the top, and we'd have to cut into it and you'd be able to see it. So it can't go there. I mean, it could go there, but it's then interfering with everything. So I think it should either go there or go underneath there, but I don't particularly want to have it there, really. I think it's ideally going to go there. Yeah, and it's in keeping with the stainless steel and everything. and everything. I don't think, you know, when you're putting stuff into here, you know, I don't think you're going to interfere with hitting these anyway. I mean, most of them are going to be switched on anyway, so I think that'll be all right there. The thing is I've got to make that I've got to risk it and go for it. This is not fitted this is dry fitted as well, so I mean, I could in effect cut a hole in the bulkhead, place that there, take this off and have a look to see if it's going to be interfered with. I don't know. I don't think it will. I think it's one of those where you've got to make a decision and you've just got to go for it, and I think that would look quite nice in there, and then stuff can be just put in this area here. Spices, and which is what it's for. I mean, I was going to make something there to go there, kitchen toweling or something to go there. I could even actually have a kitchen. No, I can't, because the sink's going here. But I like that anyway. I think that's a good choice by you guys, not having the back on it. I think it looks good. I'm very happy with that. You can see, I mean, where there's a bit of a mark there, I could restain that, but I was going to cut it down there, and I'm glad I didn't, because that looks in keeping as it is, and that is sufficiently high enough now, you know, to have the sink here, and splashes and what have you are not going to interfere with anything there. So that, my friends, was the right choice to put it up there. Thank you for your input once again. Looks a bit skew, but it isn't. I've had that on it, and it's definitely level. Right, so I think I've got to make a decision on this now. I think I need to be brave and just go for it, because ultimately I need to get things wired. So you can see the level, it's going to be around here, this side here, so it's actually going to come out here somewhere, which is fine. Obviously I'm going to have to take this old board off now that we know that this is the right place for it, and then the cables can come out of that switch. They can come down, and then they can go down through there and back through to that lot there. I think my dad had an idea of it going somewhere like there on the side, but the problem with that is that it wouldn't really work, or it would be tight, but I could shunt that across, you know, but I'd have to cut that down to where I made that mark, and it would be shorter still. I'm happy with that being there, to be honest, because I don't mind having a bit of a gap there, because you never know when you need to gain access to things. I know you can take this away, but I just feel like, I mean, I could actually put I could put some shelf, once this is in place, I could actually put some shelving in there if need be, and I could actually put a key ring thing here as well to put keys on. Right, okay, I'll crack on with some more work, and I'll let you know my progress. Bye for now. Right, I've committed. I've done the deed. it's cut. So there we are, I've got a very expensive letterbox now. I don't think that's going to go in straight off, but you never know. Oh, not far off. I think that's going to look all right there. Yeah. So I will use this. Where is it? What have I done with it? What have I done? Ah, it's up there. Yeah, I think that's okay. I think that'll look absolutely fine. At the end of the day, I've got to be brave. I've got to just make these choices. That won't work. Is everybody still alive? Yes. It's like a death trap round here. At the end of the day, I've got to make these decisions, stick by them. It is what it is, and there we are. We've made the hole. There's no going back. That's what we're left with. So we move on. We're going to make that hole slightly bigger and get a nice snug fit, and then we can then start wiring up again. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the finger sander, and I'm going to sand down here and just make that into a nice snug fit. So I shall do that without trying to break my neck, and I will see you back when it's done. Bye for now. Right, okay. So now that that hole is now done, move all this out of the way. A nice snug fit, which we like. Let's try this thing. Ouch. Clicks and that clicks. Yeah, I think that looks cool. I think that looks all right there. Don't forget, you've got little pots, you know, they're only that sort of big, aren't they? So you'd have at least 2 deep. You could even have them a bit higher. You can easily access. You can even have a little labelling system there maybe, or there is stickers for it actually, these. So I could stick the stickers on there. But I just love the feel of them, and I think I was reluctant to let that go back, and I think that's I think it's nice. It looks well. See what it looks like from the other side. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I could always, like you say, I could always put a cover over a boxed cover to keep these, but I mean I'm going to insulate these, you know, as they're getting used. So I'm very pleased with that. It was a bit nervy, I'll give you that, but at the end of the day I think aesthetically that looks quite pleasing. Easy on the eye, that doesn't look like it's an amateurish job, which is the theme that we need. We don't want it looking like an amateur has been playing at it, even though there is an amateur playing at it. Yeah, cool. Right, well, based on that, I think I might, what time is it now? I even had a cup of tea today, 4:20. I think what I'll do is I will call that a day, and I will come back tomorrow and continue with doing some work in this area. I think what we need to do now that we're all happy with that, is I think we need to properly anchor this to there now. I mean it's virtually anchored now, but I think we'll shoot some pins into it, get it permanently fixed, get that permanently fixed at the bottom, put everything back, and then we need to find some more work to do. This is going to be a while. They've not got any stock of this at the moment, which is a bit of a bugger, but it is what it is. So that's just going to hold us up a little bit, but at least it can give me, in fact, do you know what I'll do before we go? At least it'll give me a chance to do some more wiring. And take it from there, really. Let's stick that. Whoops, watch Mr. Whistle. Hold on a minute. Something's not right. Let me put you there a second. There we go. I do believe it's looking quite clean and tidy in that corner now. Yeah. Still undecided whether to tile that or do something. Any ideas? It would be appreciative of it. I've just thought maybe something on there, maybe a splash guard perhaps. Maybe a brushed stainless steel or something, or even tiles might be a good idea. Your thoughts are always welcome. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, enough of the gawping at it. I will see you tomorrow, and with a bit of luck we'll have some more work to do. So have a good evening, and I'll see you tomorrow, or in your case, a flick of the page. Bye for now. And a warm welcome back. So, where are we? Yes, that down there has had its final coat. It's been sanded back again, and it's been sanded to an inch of its life, and it's nice and smooth, and now it's had its final coat, so that's ready. It's just wet at the moment, and this is the bit that I'm going to concentrate on now. So I'm going to get this finally coated up. I'm also going to treat that, because I think I could get that just a little bit darker like that one, just to blend in a bit better, because to me that looks, I know the light's on it, but to me it just looks a bit wrong with that one. So I think I need to give that a little bit of TLC. So I'm going to coat these in some clear stain. I'm going to shoot some pins into here, That is perfect now. That's been sanded properly, so that just fits really nicely into there, which is good. So that can be screwed into place once everything has been coated. So that's what I'm going to do now, is just get this all sorted and fixed up. So I will leave you with that thought, and I'll be back as soon as I've finished it. Bye for now. Just a reminder what I'm using. I'm using Danish oil, low luster, so it's like a satin, if that, sort of a very, very matte, well no, a very, very dull satin, barely shown actually on it, but I do like it because it's it not half brings the colour of the wood out. And I think using these from the salvaging these from the old rubbing straights has actually worked out really, really well. And I've got at least maybe 8 to 9 foot spare, so who knows, I might be able to use it for more than just what I've used it for there. I might even be able to, if I can steam it, have a fillet going across there, because I need to finish off the top of here at some point with a nice piece of wood of some form. Incidentally, I'm going to put some wood grommets into there. I'm going to use some light ones, and then it's a bit of a feature. Saves me cutting some, and I think they'll just look quite nice there. So yeah, I've got some grommets to go into there, and then once this is dry we can fit it all back together and we can say job done. Got to do down here. I've masked off as well, just to I know it's a clear one, but I've just masked it off. I don't want to get it on the white kitchen carcasses. I recommend getting them as well. They're great. I've just got that little bit at the bottom to do. I don't think for 1 minute you're going to see that join at the bottom. You can have a look for yourselves. There you go. You can't really tell, can you? That looks really good. Look, it's got a nice luster to it. I know it's a bit wet, but once it's sunk in, I'm going to see if we can just darken off that a bit as well. Right, do you know what? I think I'm going to make myself a cup of tea. Do you know why? Because I brought the equipment to do so. So I'm going to make a cup of tea. I'm going to ponder on what I'm going to do next. I think it's going to be a bit of wiring, and then we shall carry on. So why don't you make yourself a cup of tea too, or a coffee? a pina colada. Although the weather's atrocious here. Anyway, see you later. Bye. I'm easily pleased. There we go. So I put those grommets in. I think they look alright, don't you? A little bit of a feature. Just finished off sanding out the marks where I've cut them. What's the betting? I've got no brush up here. Of course I haven't. No brush. No brush. Got a wire brush. Oh, I know what I could use. Exactly what I can use. Paintbrush. Right, finish that off with a bit of amber nectar. Well, though I say it myself, I think, well, that looks rather nice. So, the next bit is to put the put the trinkets back on. Oh, where's that? I tell you, no toolbox. No toolbox should be without one of them, because when you put in screws that are close to the edge, you don't want them skewing and disappearing and not looking nice and flat. But having one of these where you go like that makes everything perfect. And they're not dear at all. They are not dear. Got it off Amazon. Every toolbox should be with one, because when you're dealing with, say for example, with screws that are right on the edge, you're going to get split wood. Even though this is hardwood, you're going to get split wood, and to start it off with one of those and then to make a pilot hole, a very thin drill bit, I think is crucial to getting it right. And then your screws just go in really nicely and straight, because these cheap Chinese stainless steel screws, they're not forgiving at all. You can soon chew the heads up. So making it easy for yourself by getting your pilot holes nice and straight Oh, whoop! It's gone right down the crack of that flooring. Typical. It helps get these screws in straight. So I just put them loosely in to start with and get them lined up. That one there, that's going to be a devil to get out. Come on, out you come. You have a job to do, sunshine. Got it. Got it. So I need to get that level with the top. Just nip it up. Don't overscrew these because they'll just chew the wood. Technically they're not meant to go for the, not meant for this, but they look really nice and they've got a flat back to them, so they just fit really well. The downside to them is, of course, you can soon chew them up pretty quick, so you just have to be a little bit gentle with them to get the effect you want. Whoops. Whoa! Yeah, we lost it. Could have done with a magnetic screwdriver, really. See, these are right on the edge. That would have split if I hadn't have pre-drilled those holes, I'm sure. Right, now we can adjust and tweak. Go. Lovely. Right, next bit is the light switches, and I think I might use the same screws because they do look good. Let's hope they don't take. Now I'll try it without putting a pilot hole in first. You don't need much. Let's try one. Let's see what we do. I have a funny feeling they will need. Do you know what? They will need a pilot hole. Do you know why? Because of that backboard there, the bulkhead is like granite. So I 100% need to put pilot holes in that, because I will end up chewing the heads of these screws. These are the ones I'm using. I mean, they're designed to use with these clips, but because they've got a flat back to them, I just feel like they look really good there. I think that looks in keeping, and the stainless steel as well, so hopefully the damp that will occur in this boat won't affect them too much. Right, I shall not leave you in, oh, I might do, because I've got that. I thought I'd have to go back down, but I don't. So you're going to have to persevere and watch me. Yeah, definitely needed to drill that. Yeah, 100%. So just having a look at the back of this again, that will go to the common ground, and that will go to the live main bus bars, and then these are your individual ones that will go onto the bus bar, where you can then choose what you want to switch on and off to. That's what I'm guessing, and I'm guessing because it's a while, you know, like it's like riding a bike. When you get out of it and you're not familiar with it, you soon forget what you're supposed to do, which is where I'm at with it. I'll just use a fatter screw with this. Hopefully it won't chew. No, it won't. It's working perfectly. Do you know what? That's absolutely perfect. That fits that hole lovely. So it was definitely a right choice, was that? I'm quite I'm happy with where it's positioned. I was a bit, as I said to you a few pages back, I was a bit unsure, but now that I've committed it, I'm happy. I've got no option but to be happy, but I am happy because I think that overall looks good, and I don't think, you know, the products that are going to be in there, it's going to be out of the way. Right, I'll just switch you off and I'll go and get the other item, which should be dry, and then we'll put it on and then we'll forget about it. That's what we'll do. Right, tidied up a bit. Let's put that there. This is still a bit wet, but it'll dry while it's looking pretty. So that goes there. You shoot that one in, and you shoot that one in. And now that doesn't move at all. And we've got a drawer with a handle on it. I mean, I'm not overly keen on the colour of the handle at the moment, but do you know what? It'll do for now. Oh, actually, that's a good test, isn't it? See? Kenko. You could stick your coffee there. You can even have a row of mugs along there. It's not even interfering with those. So I think that was a good idea, though I say it myself. I think that looks really good. And if you want to take it down, you click that down and you click that down. Perfect. I'm well chuffed with that. It looks part of the boat, which is exactly what we wanted. Right, there we go. I'll come up with something else to do and you'll be right back. Bye for now. And a good morning to you. It is Saturday the 13th of June. Yes, got the date right this time. By rights, you should be getting this video on sort of this weekend. However, as you know, I had a little job at home to do, so I am a few days behind schedule. So it's going to be probably, I don't know. Well, you'll know because it'll be on. But I'm hoping to get it on sort of Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday with a bit of luck. So what am I doing? I've got a time slot that I can be here. So I think I'm going to now concentrate on wiring that up and selecting a few of these stragglers to go on some of these switches that I think are going to be okay to go on there. I have got switches for various things. So for example, the these I'm going to use, I've got 3 of them, and they will be used for what's underneath this floor, a pump out, as will the one that's over there, and the one that will be living, where will it be living? Somewhere around here, I think. Oh, that one's not going to live there. There's 2 of them. There's going to be one here and there's going to be one here somewhere. So we're going to have 2 in the rear of the boat, because that's going to be the weakest point, I would say, there. So I think we need 2 in here, and those switches will hopefully, there'll be enough of a gap between here and here, and they can fit somewhere along there. That's my theory. So obviously you now know where this whole center console is going to be, where the steering and everything's going to be, so that juts out quite a bit. But I think a continuation of switches, etc., will just fit snugly, hopefully snugly. We'll have to see. In fact, I might be able to answer that question by having a little look. Oh, it's quite deep. It is quite deep, that. Just let me put you on your stand a minute. I don't know what you're looking at. Oh, looking at the right thing anyway. Let me just open this packet up. Because I think we're going to have to start. And this is a fuse. Is that fused? Looks fused. That's what it looks like at the back. Is that? Not so sure. Not so sure. I'll have to read the instructions. Well, it is quite deep. However, I mean, they could go there, I suppose. Couldn't they? In a row. There's no reason why they couldn't go there. If they went there, would that cause any trouble by getting in and out of the boat? Because I remember the canopy. I can't remember if the canopy, you exit the boat. Well, I would imagine you exit the boat there. I can't remember, it's so long ago since the canopy was on. I've got pictures of other people's boats, so I should be able to establish. I think it unzips around here and peels back. I think obviously you exit the boat at its lowest point, which is here, because I remember steps being here actually, and I think there was a step there. I can't be so sure, it's so long ago since this boat looked like a boat. Yeah, I mean, ideally I'd like it there, because I think that would look, you know, you've got all your switches and everything, your command centre there, and you would have these switches along here. Well, if it won't fit there, it'll have to fit there. I don't think that's too much of an issue, because they're not going to be used, and the only time they're going to be used really is when they're on auto, and they can. The only thing is, I don't want to knock it with your leg, or you know what I mean. Anyway, that's sidetracking myself. I'm going to start connecting some of these up. Now this, I think, is the red wire goes onto here from whichever switch is made, from whichever cable I choose goes onto these, and then these, that's obviously all the way that's linked. And that's linked, so that needs to go to the negative bus bar, which will be that, because you only need, as long as you've got one main bus all the way back to negative, that keeps your loop. There's no split in it, if I remember rightly. And then the question is, where does the reds go? I think, oh, the reds don't go anywhere, they just go to there. And then that single, I know, it's coming back to me now, that's a song in itself. That then gets its feed from, does he get the feed from there? No. It must get it from here, because they won't be fused. If it was on that bus bar, there's no fuse, is there? How are they fused? According to these instructions here, you've got 30 amp in total, all working is 30 amp. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, so you could go 6, couldn't you? 6 amp on each. Right, I'll have to figure that one out. It's not clear. It's not clear to me, because I'm not, how can I put it? It's like riding a bike. If you don't constantly ride the bike, then you sometimes forget how to ride the bike. This is what I have to contend with when it comes to wiring, so I'm going to have to refresh my memory. But that is not going to stop me from putting the correct connectors on the red, these red ones, because I have put those on there because I assumed that those would go. Oh no, I was going to say, could I put that on that fuse and then put a link to the switch, but no, that wouldn't work, because this has to be a switchable item, so that has to go to the switch. That's what it's for. So then the power goes on off. I'm talking to myself as well as yourself, you'll have to bear with me. This is how I think. Yeah, that's it. So that goes to one singular item, what is this one? exterior side blue lights. Right, so that one has to be on a switch, because when you switch the switch it'll come on, but it'll only come on once that red feeder gets connected to a power source, and the power source, I'm thinking, has to be fused, because I don't think it's fused at the switch. So that then tells me that that has to be connected to the fuse box or with a fuse. Right, I'm with it. I'm going to try that method and see if I've got it right. Stay tuned and get yourself a brew, because you're going to need it. Bye for now. Okay, so I've tidied some of this spaghetti junction up. So we've got all the blacks together now, which I will get some black electric tape and I'll make a loom out of it. I'll wrap it all up so then they can all feed onto here. Or I might actually, yeah, no, I'll put them onto there, because I've got plenty of space there, so they can all go onto there, and then we'll have one main going onto there, so then that links all the blacks together there. And I've put some tape on there to start with, and then because that's going to be where it goes through the hole there. I've got no conduit left, so I think if I double up on the tape through there, that should be okay. If not, I could put some foam or something around them. But anyway, they are going to go through there, and then I will wrap all these together, and they're all labelled, and then they're going to get threaded up to here, and that will sort that out. Now I've put the horn one, there's one called the horn, I think, is it? Everything other than the horn is going to be on here. The horn obviously will have to be somewhere up here for obvious reasons, but when it comes to the mast, navigational lights, etc., look, at the end of the day it's a case of a reach around to here and switching those on. It's not like I'm going to be using the boat during the night and what have you. It's going to be moored up, so I understand that, you know, in an ideal world, and they still could be up here somewhere, but I just feel that I like to have them. Well, I'm going to put them on there to start with, and if it's not successful, then you know what, it's not that far away. I'm going to keep these tails long, so then they are movable and they can be put, you know, along here if necessary. So it's not necessarily a permanent fixture, but I would prefer to have them on there with a box over it. They're going to get threaded up to here and then distributed along here. So that's what I'm going to do. Right, so I just thought I'd show you where I'm at with that. It's clear as mud. But you know what? We could always stick it on and see if they work. And then if they don't work, well, we've nothing lost. We just have to find the way that it does work. So I will carry on and I will let you know how I go on. Bye for now. And welcome back. So we're a little bit tidier now. All the blacks are all in there, as you can see. They're all nice and neat and tidy. That's just velcroed on. Brilliant stuff, that. And it's definitely not coming off. I mean, you really have to pull that off to actually get to the back of it. We still have got that little fella, which is of course the heater to put on, and I'm thinking that the heater display should go some sort of positioning like that, maybe. That's my theory. Not quite decided. Obviously the cable's going to have to go in there. and I might just notch out the this to just accommodate the cable, because I think it would just fit just quite nicely like that. Maybe even put like a chrome sheath over the top of it, maybe just hide it somewhat like that. I think it'll look okay up there, underneath there, because at the end of the day you're not going to be on top of it like we are looking at it right now. We're going to be some distance away, and you're going to have the remote control, and you'll be able to see it from this distance, you know, and turn it on and off, because you're going to be obviously sitting in this area here. So, you know, even though it's going to be under there from this position, it'll be quite easily seen. In fact, I'm just going to, there we are, just put that there for a stay. You get my meaning, don't you? So if it's just up a bit, it'll be absolutely fine. I don't really want to put it in here because there's going to be, you know, I've pushed my luck by having that there. Speaking of that, I've got now I've got this first one. I have got the exterior side lights, which are these blue side lights on both that side and that side. I've connected all of them together onto one switch because I had a tail, like wherever the tail is. I got one of those, and I thought it would be ideal to put those, all three of them, on one switch, so then all the lights come on at the same time. I have plenty of room to use more, but you know, these switches here, you know, everything's virtually on now. So I've got the exterior blue lights, which are all on one. Then I have got the mast light, and I've got the both navigational lights. They go onto there, and then finally main headlight, which is on that one there. I've got these spare, which is great because, you know, we haven't done this area yet, and I'm going to have some lighting on in here, so there's another spare switch for it there. And these, you know, at a later date, whoever the boat is owned by, I mean, I've also still got maybe a heater going in here, so maybe the switch can be used for it on here. So there's, you know, although it looks extravagant having all those lights, you know, bit by bit people will, you know, use them as they need, and it's accessible as well because it's going to be behind this bulkhead. So it's future planning really, more than anything, for that. So they don't all have to be used, just some of them need to be used, and you've got the facility to add more. So that's where we're at the moment. I've got to shoot off now, so I will be back probably Monday, because Sunday I'm sure I've got something on. Anyway, yeah, so I'll be back on Monday. I will leave my GoPro here because I've got extra new batteries now. Oh, by the way, I've actually, on Monday, that'll be useful, and I will put it in this video, I've got a sink coming for this, so we can actually get that fitted as well. So actually, all in all, we could get all this sorted. We've still got this to do, and I'm still waiting for stock to arrive back in for the perspex that is going to be fitted on there. So slowly but surely we are getting there. So with that said, it is a Saturday. I know it will be midweek next week that you'll be seeing this, but I hope you had a good weekend, and I will see you I'll see you later. Bye for now. And a good morning to you all. It is Tuesday, the 16th of June. And guess what? We have a sink. It has arrived. So I'm going to unpack this sink. As you can see, that is the sink. It has a tap, hot and cold, and I'm hoping that that is going to be a good size for that piece of kitchen top, and we should be good to go. That, I am assuming, is what is inside this box. So I'm going to do some unpacking, establish what we've got, and then I will get that top down and we'll put it down here, and then we'll have a look. In fact, I'm hoping that there is a template that I can use in order to cut it out, mask it out up on top, because I need to guess where it's going to go. So with that said, I will see you very shortly. Bye for now. And welcome aboard. So I've unpacked this, and as you can see, it's sort of, it looks just as big as the other one. It obviously isn't, but it looks quite big. But we've only got this to sink in, and obviously there are angles on it, as it clearly shows there. It doesn't have, however, a template that actually is the size, which would have helped. But you know what? We can start cutting it out at a small hole first and work our way up to the shape. So I think what I might do first is I might flip it up, because I know that this is the widest point, and then I'll start masking up the area that needs to be cut, and then I can draw some angles on it, because we've obviously got this as a template. We've got all the sizes necessary, so maybe we can use those well, there's no maybe about it, that's what that's for. We can then obviously cut, we can draw out and then cut what we need to cut out. But generally I'm very happy with the quality of it. It looks very nice. And that's it. And it's obviously you can't, I mean, for the people that have actually got one, you'll understand, but it's quite a heavy item, and it's not completely thin. You know, it has got a bit of substance to it. Yeah, I like it. I'm glad that this was the option. Right, well, I think the next thing to do is to start masking out. Maybe I could sort of make cut this area out here. I think I need to make sure I get it parallel to start with, and then we'll take it from there. Right, wish me luck guys, because I'm going to get one shot at this. So I will start cutting that out now, and I will see you very shortly. I suggest you get yourself a beverage. See you soon. Okay, so I've mapped out, basically I've mapped out that the outer edge of this tape is the outer size of this here. So I know that whatever I cut on the inside is going to be a-okay. Now it fits that way, and there's obviously undulations coming, you know, these areas here, which are basically those areas there. We can deal with them once we've got this initial part out the way. And I think for me the best way I'm going to work it is get the thing into, so it sinks into position, and then start whittling away areas where I know I need to adjust, so eventually it drops into place and I know I'm not going to be short on any of the sides, because that is quite narrow, as is that is quite narrow. So I want to make sure that, you know, I don't go overboard with it. So I think I'm going to cut all that out down there. That's going to be my best option, and then well, we'll keep whittling away until we've got it, got that into position. I think overall position wise, I think I'm happy with that being sort of central to there. It's got enough prep area there. We've still got this area here, and I've got some nice walnuts somewhere over there, tucked away. Oh, in fact, you can see that big thick piece there that's just jutting out. Here you are. Where can I point it out? That. Is it that piece there? It's hard to say. Yeah, I think it's that one there. That's a beautiful piece of walnut, a big slab that stretches all the way to the end of that rack. And I think I've even got another piece as well that I could use, which would look quite nice, just placed over the top of here with some felt feet, you know, so you've got plenty of room to prep. So I think that would be good, and it's just enough away. I mean, I could have shunted it this way, but I just wanted to keep it, you know, splash wise, just wanted to keep it away from that. And you've got area, you've got stuff you can put there as well. So I think that's a good place for it. It's quite central to the window. So yes, there we go. Right, I'll crack on with that, and I'll see you as I'm making progress. Bye for now. And welcome back. So as you can see, that's the first cut. So we can now move on to the second phase, and that obviously will fit the first time in, but not all the way, which is cool. So now we can establish where it's touching underneath, and we can take it from there. Hold on a minute. So it needs, I don't think it needs to come out anything off the front. As you can see, my tape line is that line there, which is flush with that, and it needs to go that way a tad. So we can now concentrate on, we look down at it, we can pull this. I don't know whether I can do it when you're holding you. If I just move this, oh, I can't move it because those are touching. But I can, no. What I'll do is, just bear with me a second, sorry you're being jigged about. So according to I think that we're not far off, you know. We're not far off with that. Because what I can do is I can keep checking my lines. I know that this can't move any further. I can't move it back and forth. It needs to stay within these masking tape lines that I've already put on, because that is exactly the main circumference of what I'm dealing with. So I think now all we need to do is notch out here and notch out here. They are angled, so I obviously need to maybe go quite a distance. That's going to be the crucial size. I don't know whether you can see it there, can you? Maybe you can. So here we are. If I put you, get rid of that, you can see the line there. You can see it's angled, so obviously that's the furthest point. So there's not much leeway, but I think if I get something and draw a line across there, that will give me the sizes that I need. I'm pretty sure that the diagram actually gave me the sizes, but I think it's better to do it, you know, in real life, as opposed to just measuring away and hoping that it just drops in. I think that's what I'll do. So I'm going to get those cut. I'm pretty sure it won't drop in fully because I still got this angle here to get into place. I'm pretty sure that that's not going to fit, but if we can get that sort of on its way, then it'll slowly but surely drop into place. So there we go. That's just a little update, and I will crack on with that now, and I'll see you shortly. Bye for now. Right, we're nearly there. That is now snugly fitting on both this side and there. Just got this little bit here, just in this corner here. So I think if I take a smidger off that, we're good to go. I think we've got a gap there. I think that should be okay, and I'm sure we've got a gap there. That cut out there was perfect, and as you can see, it's not running parallel, but it's because this is not fitting in, so it needs a little bit off this. That actually confirms that it's this corner here, because you can see more tape there than up there. It's net there, which means there's a gap there that for it to drop into. So it's just, I need to concentrate on this section here, I think, just to drop it into place. So that's what I'm going to do. So far so good, guys, he said. Probably shouldn't have said that. Anyway, I'll put you back on your perch. See you in a minute. Right, so finally we've got it in place, looking pretty nice and dandy, that. So I'm very pleased with the way that that sits. It doesn't sit fully down, and I think that's because there's a black sort of surround that goes around it. So, and also there are grommets that fit in these holes here, so when you drop this down it doesn't shatter. That's my theory anyway. But that is parallel, as is that, so everything has just worked out really well, so I'm very pleased about that. So I think now what we need to do is offer it up to where it's positioned, and then start anchoring it into place. I think also, well, I might not anchor it into place because I might get some silicone and put a bead all the way around, so then it's sealed, so there's no water ingress. Even though there is a decent lip all the way around, I think I would prefer it. But we'll see how all those bits in that bag go together, and we'll just have a look, because it might be that that black surround, once it's screwed into place, actually makes the seal around the edge. I'm not so sure, but that bit we're going to find out right now. So you get yourself aboard and I'll sort of manhandle this lot on my own. Bye for now. And welcome aboard. Well, I think that looks rather nice. What do you think? I think that was it's the right proportion to the size of the top, which I'm very pleased about. I'm also very pleased about the quality of this tap, because it really is nice to touch, and it's got a click mechanism as well, which is nice. So, and it's quite clear on how it works. Obviously go back for heat and then to cold and then probably off is that position there. So yeah, I'm very pleased with this. I think it was a wise choice, not overly expensive either. I think this was, I think in the end, after I'd done a lot of research on how much things are, I think this was £119 less 5% as well. So it was, you know, 5% off that, whatever that comes to. It was a little over £100 for that, with everything that goes with it, of course, from Amazon, next day delivery. So I'm very pleased with that. So really all that needs to be done now is this needs to be connected up underneath, which we will do. We've got some rubber grommets there for here and here, etc. I think actually they're meant to go underneath like so. But anyway, I'll figure all that out. That's something that I can do without you needing to see. Well, I will show you once it's done, because there may be somebody that wants to know how it's done. I, at this moment in time, do not know how it goes on, but I've got to disappear. So I think what I might do now is call it a day, and also call it end of an episode. That goes down like so, and that goes like that. That's what that little black thing does, goes round the edge. It's still proud around there, and I still feel like it warrants having a silicone bed, maybe just beyond this where you can't see, in a clear silicone, and then it just, you know, stops water from going ingressing in around there. I've left that as it is. You obviously cut that in, but I think that looks, and you've got a surface there in order to chop on. Obviously I'm going to protect it, but I think generally speaking that, because that's black and that's black, I think all in all it was a wise choice. And I think it was Ian Hunter that actually told me about a place in Wales. Thank you, Ian. And I looked on their site, and I saw these, and then I looked on Amazon, etc., etc., and then lo and behold, I end up with this one. I mean, there was some really nice ones at £200, £300, £400, but you know, at the end of the day, I've still got lots to spend on this boat, and well, I've got to draw the line at some things. I've got to toe the line, so you know, this was one of them, and I don't think it looks too cheap. I think it looks in keeping with the boat, and first impressions, I'm very happy with that. So excellent, and I hope you like it too. Very pleased with that up there. That's I'm delighted with that. I even think I might even be able to squeeze on something I can make where I can have that kitchen toweling and you can take a piece off, etc., just underneath here or somewhere on the side. I've even got that in my head that might work. But that those are really good, so we can take that off and get to the behind of it and whatnot, to even, you know, treat this wood. Everything comes off, which is what we want. Hello, why won't you click into place? Thank you. Right, oh yes, and of course in the next episode we need to crack on and get these all connected up, and we'll try it out and see whether I've got it right, and then we can move on to the next job. Hopefully that will arrive and we can crack on, and John will be able to help me with getting that in, and then we can put this corner to bed, and that will be marvellous. And then maybe we can get this window in, and finally that little small window there. So things are coming on. We need to get the doors on there, but there's no point until we've stopped faffing around under there with the electrics, etc. But yeah, all in all, I'm very pleased. It's been a long drawn out one this time, I know, but they all are, aren't they? Because I can't shut up. But anyway, hope you like it. Please like, please subscribe, and guess what? You will definitely see me in the next one. Bye for now.